whilst I'm waiting for parts for the other Land Rover that came from a continent that people don't like me to say about beginning with an A, I'm going to jump onto this one, and I've been given the go-ahead to try and put the engine mounting back in. By doing that we can lift the turbo off the steering shaft, move the turbo around, put a block heater in it. We can do a lot of stuff. So let's get on with that. I'll just show you the edited highlights because sometimes these videos can take too long. But basically what we're going to do is strip off this air cleaner system, all the hoses, drop the coolant down and take off the intake manifold. Let's get on with that. Boy, it's hot today. I'm sweating like Michael Jackson in the creche. Right, so where were we? Oh yes, that's right. This engine. So what I've done is I've lifted up the engine and I've put an engine mounting rubber in this side. Unusually, I thought the engine mounting was welded to the block because I couldn't see for all the all the gubbins around there. So once I got the manifold off, it became clear that there actually had been an engine mounting in there, rubber mounting, but all there was the top and the bottom plate. Now I don't know if they'd removed the rubber, which wouldn't surprise me at all, but there wasn't anything in there. So I've put a rubber in, which I showed you in a previous video, and it is looking good. It's looking good. So let's put the level on. The level is absolutely level. And now bring it this way, hand under there, can you see? Maybe not, let's have a swing around, hand under there, that's good. And hand under there, it is perfect. So, let's now do a test with the plasticine or Play-Doh. I don't know what you call it all over the world, we call it plasticine. Now why do I have plasticine kicking about? Well, partly to do bonnets, but the other reason is when we do fiberglass mouldings we use it to blend and make different shapes with, where you couldn't do it with the body filler. Good, that, isn't it? So we'll put that on there and we're going to have 4 fingers high, right? 4 fingers. Curtis has still got my tape measure. Shut the bonnet. Always shut the bonnets with your elbows, not with your hands. Let's go and have a look. You know, the one thing they don't tell you when you buy these two-post lifts is you can't get the bloody doors open. Right, here you go. Well, would you look at that? There you go. We've gone from 4 fingers to that. One of these days I'll get a tape measure. But we know now that the bonnet isn't going to be hitting on top of the engine. I've seen quite a few mistakes. Lots of people have done engine conversions, getting all great, oh fantastic. Can't shut the bonnet. Yes, I've done that before with the V8. When it had the Bosch intake manifold on, I didn't allow for a Bosch intake, so you needed a Puma bonnet. Anyway, that's it. So that's good, but there is a problem. It would be too easy otherwise, wouldn't it? The fan is catching on the cowl. Well, why is that, Mike? Well, because the engine was sat further back, the engine cowl was raised and it's more bulbous towards the back of the cowl because the engine's taller and the cowl's down here going towards the radiator. But now you've moved it forwards, it's too tight. So I'm going to do something that's really bodge-tastic, and I'm going to cut the bloody cowl here, just in front of the fan, and I'm going to pop rivet a plate on. I've just noticed here, even here now, when I've lifted the engine up to the right position, the top radiator hose isn't anywhere near the cowl. So hopefully, I don't know, do you know something? I might just take the damn thing off. It's catching all over the place. I think I might just work out where the front of the cowl is, cut it off and then pop rivet a plate on and get it out the way. I can't make it any worse, can I? But least the steering and everything now won't touch. So let me get the manifold back on, but first of all I'm going to fit a block heater. Let me go and get one, I'll show you what they look like. This is the block heater. It's a special one. It goes in the centre core plug. We've done one of these once before because we did it on the 90, the green 90 we did for the guys in Montreal. They work very, very well. I mean, when it's about -30, it only needs about 20 minutes and that water will be warm enough to start that engine. The reason why we put a block heater, you can put them in the bottom hose. They're alright, but they're not as good, because as water's coming up the hose, it's supposed to naturally circulate. Well, if you get any restrictions like you might do with a TDI, the hot water will work its way back down the hose because it's not flowing properly and trip out the thermostat. Now these don't have a thermostat, but equally, because they're actually surrounded by water, just like a little kettle element, they'll be okay. This one is, let me see, 600 watts. What's a watt? But there is a special position to go into. When you put them in the middle core plug and you twist it, you turn them like this, otherwise the butterfly won't bite. Now when we do this, we're going to get the coolant pressure tester out, we're going to pressure test it. So we're going to drop the coolant out completely and change the coolant, because God knows what's in there. And then there might not be any at all. We're going to drop that out, antifreeze, and fill it up, and hopefully when we pressure test it, this won't pop out. It's really important that you pressure test them, because there's a little rubber o-ring in there that has to be a nice tight snug fit into the block, and this little butterfly has to open up and clinch to the back, and that's why these ones are a little bit special, because it's got a double threaded piece on there. Things you know, eh? Alright, let's get on with that. So I dropped the coolant out this block. Looking by the colour of it, it looks more like rusty water. Let's have a look when we slide the tray out. Oop. Oh, that's the strangest coolant I've ever seen. What's it taste like? It doesn't taste very good. I'm not having a pint of that, that's for sure. Yep. I think this needs a damn good flushing. Damn good thrashing and a damn good flushing. Something I didn't anticipate doing. Looks like I'll have to change the oil as well, because the coolant's got down through the dipstick hole, but that's no big deal because I bet that's never been done either. Let me have a look at the filter. It might have been on, I don't know, we'll see. Right, let's get on with this, let's flush this damn thing out. Here we go again. If you remember the original Ghana 110, the core plugs were all rusted out at the back. They look perfect from this side, but they're all thin as buggery this side. So we're going to replace all those core plugs on the side of the engine. There's one at the back and there's one at the front. I don't know about the one at the back, if I can get into it. I should be able to. A bit of a naughty one to get tapped in, but we'll do it. Now unfortunately, I just had to look on my shelf and I haven't got any green Loctite to put these back in with. But I think what I'll do today, because it's 4:45 now, it's time to go and watch Crackerjack. I think what I'll do today is knock the plugs out. I've got some new ones, I always have new ones because they always go in. And then we'll swill the block out, put the block heater in, put the 2 core plugs in, and oh no, we can't put the core plugs in because we've got no bloody stuff, have we? Oh no, I'll tell you what I'll do for the last 10 minutes. I'll chop this bloody cowl down now. In fact, I might just take it out completely. Problem being with that is they welded the fan on. I love welding viscous fans, those guys in that place where I'm not supposed to mention, beginning with an A. But they've welded the fan on and I don't really want to change it. Let me see what I can do. Perhaps not the best way to clean the block out, but here we go. I have to keep moving that tray underneath. There we go. I don't think that's had any antifreeze in it. Any proper coolant. I've got the steam on it, you know, the hot water. Chassis wasn't very rusty, but so I'll see where all the rust's gone now. That's bad, isn't it? Starting to get better. I wonder what the radiator's like, eh? That's mucky stuff in it. I'm going to turn the steam on. I flushed the radiator out of the 300 TDI, it was exactly the same, it was full of muddy water. Rusty, muddy stuff. It doesn't seem to want to ease up, does it? Look at this thing. That's getting better. Let me come back to this. Well, after 20 minutes of washing, that's now running clean. And when we do put antifreeze in this, or Prestone, or whatever you want to call it, coolant, we always mix it 50-50 with distilled water. We never put tap water. It's got high mineral content in it. So, I'm going to leave this job for now. I think what it might be an idea is to flush this radiator out as well. Now, back flushing would be a better idea, but I don't think it's going to work. So I might just have to take the top hose off here. Or should I take the hose off here? Flush it all the way through the radiator. I'm just a bit worried about the excess pressure. I think I'll just make an adapter to go on the top hose and just flush it out. I think that's what I'll do. And while these blocks are out, I'll drive it back outside, and then water can just run freely through. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll sign this off for now, and then we'll come back to it tomorrow.